Hi friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to share my March TBR, and I am so excited that it is finally March because that means spring is literally just a few weeks away. So I have lots of books to talk about. I'm participating in lots of things in the month of March, so I do have quite a stack. I have some buddy reads, things for my podcasts, some readathons. Let's just go ahead and get into it. Well, I don't have them in any particular order. I mean, I have them grouped by like things that I'm doing. So the first thing is my read along of the Anne of Green Gables series that I'm doing over on my Patreon, The Night Owls. You are more than welcome to join. This read along is open to all tiers, and we're just reading one book a month, or it's actually read at your own pace, but I have decided to read one book a month so that I stay on target to finish. And yeah, so I will be reading Anne of the Island by L.M. Montgomery, the third book in the series. And this one says, 18-year-old Anne Shirley is ready to leave her beloved Green Gables for university in nearby Nova Scotia. I love Nova Scotia so much. I've never been, but what I've seen in movies and TV and in books, I would love to go. But yeah, so things are going to be changing in this book. Anna's older, she's leaving Green Gables, and I'm just very excited to continue in the series. Yeah, that's the first one. Next, I am so honored that Keisha asked me to co-host Revive Book Club in March. It's going to be me, Jordan, and Caitlin, and Keisha, of course, because she's the host. But we are going to be reading Stop Calling Me Beautiful, and it's a short little nonfiction, Christian nonfiction book about finding soul deep strength in a skin deep world. And I have already started this one. I'm on page 45. I just felt really called to pick it up one day, and so I did, and I'm really enjoying it so far. And he's just like, you're starting it so early. I'm like, don't worry, girl. I am taking notes. I'm highlighting. Like, I am gonna be ready for the discussion. So yeah, I'm very, very excited about that one. And the discussion is going to be on March 24th, Monday, March 24th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So grab the book and join us on that Monday. Okay, next up, Sleep When I'm Dead pick. A Killing Cold by Kate Alice Marshall. Sleep When I'm Dead book club is hosted by Jessie at Reading with Jess. I've read everything that Kate Alice Marshall has published so far. A whirlwind romance. She meets this wealthy, charming man. He is a member of a powerful family. She falls in love instantly. 6 months later, he's brought her to Idlewood, his family's isolated winter retreat, to win over his skeptical relatives. And she realizes that she's been there before, and there's some mysteries and memories, and she's in terrible danger and all of that. So I'm looking forward to reading this one. It's also fairly short, so I'm also really looking forward to reading this one. For my podcast, I'm going to be reading Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney. I don't know if I've read all of her books, but I've read most of her books. Yeah, I've read most, but I'm going to be reading and discussing this book on my podcast. I believe the date is April 24th, but I'm going to be reading it and discussing it with Jess from Reading with Jess and Angie from Book Mama. I'm very excited to have them both on the podcast, but yeah, I'm excited. I don't know much about it. There's a writer. It's a mystery, you know? I don't know too much about it, but I love this cover. All right, for my book club, the Night Owl Book Club, which is part of my Patreon, the $7 tier, we are going to be reading Powerless by Lauren Roberts. This is a YA fantasy book. I've heard it compared to lots of things, but I kind of just want to go into it as its like own thing. But the elites have possessed powers for decades, gifted to them by the plague, while those born ordinary are just that, banished from the kingdom of Ilia and shunned from society. So, and there's trials, and if the opponents within them don't kill her, the prince she's fighting feelings for will if he discovers what Pateron is, completely ordinary. So we have Pateron and Kai. Paid in Thief, Ordinary and Survivor, and Kai, Prince, Elite, and Enforcer. So it's going to be a YA romantasy. I don't know. I'm excited to read it and discuss it with my patrons at the end of March. And then, of course, I announced the Let's Get Graphic Readathon over on my YouTube community tab and also on Instagram. This is its 3rd year, so I have a few things picked for that. So one of the prompts is to read a book with 3 or more people on the cover. So I picked A First Time for Everything, and I believe this is, yes, this is also middle grade. So Dan is used to feeling invisible. After being bullied in middle school, Dan has low expectations about everything, including the class trip to Europe with the same girls who love to make fun of him. But during his travels, a series of firsts began to change him. First Fanta, first fondue, and maybe even first girlfriend. Funny, heartfelt, and embarrassing true. This graphic novel memoir is based on Dan Satan's most awkward middle school memories. So it definitely has 3 or more people on the cover, and it's middle grade, and it's a nonfiction memoir. So love that. There's a prompt that says like a 3-word title. So this is The Witch's Hand, and it's part of the Montague Twins graphic novel series. And I'm excited to read this one because it's like a mystery. It says, on a lazy summer day, a sudden storm leads these amateur detectives to a mysterious box that holds long-buried secrets. With those secrets unearthed, an explosive chain of events begins that challenges everything they have known. But there are people in their sleepy New England town who want to keep their secrets buried, and the twins are a threat that needs to be stopped. Can they prevail over the powers that be, or will they meet a terrible fate? Join them on their thrilling adventure. And this is a graphic novel that Caitlin read, like I think during the first round of Let's Get Graphic, or maybe she just read it in general, and you know, I picked up the recommendation from her. So I'm excited about that one. And then I also have Robin and Starfire from Teen Titans. This is the comic book series by Cami Garcia and Gabrielle Piclio. I picked this up on my recent book shopping adventures when I was down in the Outer Banks with my book club. And I still have Robin sitting around on my TBR. So I'm going to knock out both of these. And then I read My Phony Valentine in February, so I want to continue in the series and read My Lucky Charm in March by Courtney Walsh. This is a Holidays with Heart romance, and this is the 2nd book. A humiliating breakup leads to an impulsive New Year's kiss with a complete stranger. What could possibly go wrong? So I'm very excited because I really enjoyed the first book. I gave the first book, My Phony Valentine, 5 stars, and I'm hoping the series continues like that. So that's exciting. And then I'm also hosting a Bambi readathon over on my Patreon. It runs from Thursday to Sunday at the end of the month. It starts on the first day of spring, and there's different prompts and stuff that go with it. But I love the little Bambi theme that I came up with because like it just feels like spring, you know? So I have 3 books picked out for that readathon because there's 3 prompts. We're gonna be watching the movie. It's gonna be so much fun, and the graphics are freaking adorable. Anyway. So first up, I know like these books, they don't feel like they fit together, but I thought I was very clever with the prompts, and actually Keisha helped me come up with some of the prompts. So I picked characters from the movie, and I came up with a prompt based on that character. Anyway, I have The Divorce Party by Laura Dave, and I have really enjoyed her books. I don't think I've given any 5 stars. I think they've all been 4 stars, but like that's amazing, and I want to continue reading her stuff. And this one is a short one. The main character's name is Gwen. It's spelled differently though. But it says, Gwen Huntington knows how to throw a party, and Hunt Hall, her postcard perfect Victorian home in Montauk, is no stranger to celebrations. But on the morning of her 35th wedding anniversary, she's putting the finishing touches on the last party she'll host there, a party to celebrate her divorce. Just over 100 miles away, Gwen's future daughter-in-law, Maggie, sits on the floor of her Brooklyn apartment attempting to organize her new life. She's in love with a wonderful man, and today she is meeting his family for the first time. So this book takes us into the lives of these two women at opposite ends of marriage. For all the differences between them, distance, privilege, age, they have one thing in common. Each has found herself at a crossroads facing the same question: how hard should you work to stay with the person you love? So I'm excited. And then next up is The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. This was a book of the month pick, but I picked my copy up at the book exchange, and I have read her trilogy, The Good Girl's Guide to Murder, by this author. That trilogy, I have read that and enjoyed it. I also watched the show, loved that as well. And I know it's coming back. I don't know when, but I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, I've heard really good things about this one. Lights, Camera, Lies. 18-year-old Belle has lived her whole life in the shadow of her mom's mysterious disappearance. 16 years ago, Rachel Price vanished, and young Belle was the only witness, but she has no memory of it. Rachel is gone, long presumed dead, and Belle wishes everyone would just move on. But the case is dragged up from the past when the Price family agrees to a true crime documentary. So, excited? And then also The Heiress by Rachel Hawkins. I got this last year for my birthday from Zoe, and I still haven't read it. It's been over a year, and I've always, I just could never find the time to read this. I always wanted to. It was always staring on me. I tried to get my book club to read it last year, and it just never happened. So this is the perfect opportunity for this Bambi readathon. It fits one of the prompts, and I was like, okay, let's do it. So this is another short one. I've read everything, ? That this author has written. The Wife Upstairs, Reckless Girls, The Villa. Yep, I've read everything. So I'm looking forward to it. I know that Jessie kind of said it felt like Evelyn Hugo a little bit. Like there's this person that kind of gives her that vibes. Deception leaves a killer legacy. But anyway, I'm just going to jump into it. I'm hoping I love it. And the last book officially on my March TBR is The Wedding People. I have also been wanting to read this just as much as this. Like, it's just been kind of hanging around on my TBR since it released, and I just never found a good time to pick it up. And I was hoping to read it this year. Like, I was like, this is one of my priority reads. And my book club, my in-person book club, the Well-Read, Badly Behaved book club, is reading this for March. So I'm very much looking forward to finally getting around to it. I know this can be sad, emotional, but I've just heard such good things about this book. So much so that I think 4 people suggested this, because we did little slips of paper and we all wrote a book on the slip of paper. And then we went around and eliminated them one by one. And 4 people put in The Wedding People. So we're reading The Wedding People. Anyway, that concludes my March TBR. I do have quite a few books and plans and readathons and buddy reads and all of that. I'll try to leave like information in the description box if I mentioned like a readathon or a book club and stuff like that. I'll try to put all the dates and all the links and all the things in the description box. So go ahead and check that out. And since it is March and March has St. Patrick's Day, leave the clover emoji down in the comment section if you can't think of anything else to say. But I hope you all are having a beautiful, lovely day, and I'll see you guys again in another video very soon. Bye, friends.